Alright, I want to thank everybody for watching. The purpose of this video, I just want to explain why I think that ranked play is the only way worth playing Call of Duty these days. So stick with me and we'll figure that out. But before we do that, I just want to let you know that the worst game in the world is the game against the YouTube algorithm, which sucks. So please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will appreciate it very much. Let's get into this. So yeah, I just want to start off by talking about what I like about the game. About the mode. Number one would be that there are no grenade spams. Like, you might get hit with one, but you're not going to constantly be getting hit like seems to happen in regular multiplayer, where they're just like, they got two of everything and they use it all. It's ridiculous, not fun. It's 4-on-4 instead of 6-on-6, which to me, it paces a lot better. It doesn't feel nearly as sweaty, even though, it's supposed to be the ranked mode. It's supposed to be the sweaty mode, right? Well, it doesn't seem that way comparatively. I like that there's only one kill streak instead of 3. Pretty much a guy will get a couple kills, go on a little spree there, and end up using his one little kill streak, which in some of these maps is really useless, like this hotel map in the gameplay there. I also like that there's no UAV. I know this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I like that there's no UAV, especially considering the fact that it's 4-on-4. I don't really like the people that lean too heavily on the UAV, and I personally am not that good with the UAV, so that's probably part of it too, I ain't gonna lie. I'm usually looking at what's happening in front of me more so than I'm looking up in the corner at the UAV, so maybe that's a personal thing. I'm sure it's different for everybody. I like that there's, the cheesy weapons and the meta attachments are pretty much limited. I'm sure they're still there. There's certain guns that get used every time, and you'll have that. I like that, as far as I can tell, there's no flashbang, but there might be a flashbang. But I know there's like concussions are pretty popular, but again, they only get one, so it's not nearly as bad. The flashbang, everybody knows that thing is broken, man. You stay flashed for way too long, even if you have the little thing that's supposed to prevent you from taking taking nearly as much of an effect off of it. I like that the matches are, more varied, and so are the opponents. Like, you're not getting like all that skill-based matchmaking stuff that everyone complains about. It's nowhere nearly as prevalent or as obvious anyway, because the low-skill players don't get to just rely on really stupid stuff. They have to actually play the game and play it well. I like that there's actual communication. This isn't something I'd necessarily take advantage of. I don't really like to be heard because I'm kind of a I would be probably pretty damn toxic, actually. I like to cuss people out when they kill me and shit, even if they're, really a good play. I'm just not that guy. So I don't typically even play, my voice over there, because it wouldn't be good. I'd probably get kicked off the game or something. Teamwork is much better. Like, people are actually trying for the objective because it matters, you know what I mean? It really matters to their rank and everything. So you don't get people just randomly sitting in some random corner off in the middle of nowhere for absolutely no reason. You don't get people going AFK nearly as much. Things like that. Like, people aren't just sitting there like letting the game play them. Instead, they actually play, and typically they move and they actually get involved in the gunfights and things like that, rather than sitting in a corner just waiting. And yeah, skill is actually required to do well for the most part, And these are the things that I really, really like about it. Some of the things I don't like, your individual rank is based on your team winning or losing. I mean, you bust your ass and then you end up getting, you know, get negative points against you. You do great, you have a great match, and your team still loses, so therefore you must not have done good, right? I mean, I understand it, you know, they want to promote teamwork, and that's what it really does, but ultimately it kind of kills your motivation for playing this mode. But I mean, for me, you know, it's not enough to kill everything, but I don't like that. I wish they would make it where you're actually rewarded for how well you play individually. Since it is an individual rank, that makes sense to me. Footsteps still sound like a herd of buffalo, but you get that in either mode, so it's not really, you know, a negative against it, but I do wish it wouldn't be quite so bad. Being in a lower rank and having to play versus people in much higher ranks, you know, it always ends up, and they always end up on the other team, which is kind of messed up. It always seems that way anyway. It seems like you got a whole bunch of like really good higher ranked players, and you're sitting at bronze or wherever, you know, like it's not really balanced perfectly, but it still seems more balanced for some reason. There's not enough modes or maps, you know, so it starts to feel kind of samey, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, it's the same thing over and over, the same maps, you know, the same modes. You get caught up in like a tiny rotation when, I mean, I get it. I'm glad like the border crossing map is not in this, because man, that map sucks. So I would not want it in this mode, but I mean, they could add a few maps and maybe a couple different modes that are still objective based. You know, I don't want team deathmatch or kill confirm necessarily, but they could put some of these other modes in there. I think it would freshen it up a little bit. I don't like that there's no stat tracking, at least not yet. Like, you know, I feel like I'd actually perform better in this mode. Like my KD would be a little higher, but it's hard to tell because I don't get to look at it, you know. But I do think I'm still doing better. The long pre-game countdowns that often time you out if not enough people join. Like, you'll sit there for 30-40 seconds waiting on a fourth member to join, and if he doesn't join before the timer goes down all the way down to 0, then it'll just end your matchmaking. You have to go right back and try again, and that's kind of lame. Also, like, even in the match that I'm showing here, one of our teammates, we only have 3 there, one of our teammates quit out. So the good thing to that is if you end up losing, it doesn't count against you, which is crazy. But so if we lose this 4 versus 3, it won't count against me. Well, you know, that's great and everything, because we actually do end up losing. But, you know, I wish people would stay in and not quit out, and hopefully they'll punish them somehow. I don't know, time them out for a little while or something. Maybe they'll figure that out. Yeah, that's pretty much, you know, everything. I will say, in all, it's a really good overall experience. It's way better than this game has been since launch at all, in any mode, any way of playing it. It's always been just so sweaty and not fun at all, you know, dry. The fun just runs right out of it. So even if I never rank up, I'd still rather play this mode than the other mode, especially if they fixed a few little complaints that I have, which aren't really that bad. But yeah, I mean, I want to thank you guys though for watching, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one. Please, like I said, help me out against the big enemy there, the YouTube algorithm, because that thing sucks.